You're listening to this week's episode of the Vacation Rental Business in Today's World podcast. You're about to start transforming your business and life with the information found here. We interview some of the greatest and most influential minds in the vacation short-term rental industry and supporting businesses. The information found here is a combination of brain science, transformational thinking, safety and loss prevention, and vacation short-term rental knowledge and experiences, all rolled into one to help you and your business to achieve levels you never thought possible. I am glad you are here, and now please welcome your host, Eric Thibodeau.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Safer VRS. I'm Eric Thibodeau, your host, and today I wanted to share a different story or subject, really, about in the vacation rental industry that maybe I've never heard anybody talk about. We've talked about it. I'm a safety professional, works in oil and gas and in general industry, and we talk about this subject a lot. And this is a lone worker. This is the LONE worker, not where I'm going to loan my workers to you, but a lone worker. And really what a lone worker is, it's basically a person who's alone, they're working on their own, or when they can't be seen or heard by another person. So they may be driving, traveling alone, maintenance workers, could be people working in our warehouses or laundry locations. It could be our inspectors, our housekeepers. So probably in the vacation rental, short-term industry, rental world, right, we have a lot of lone workers. And why is that significant? It's estimated that there's over 20 million lone workers in the US, 3 million in Canada, and 35 million in Europe. That's roughly about 15% of all employees who are working are considered lone workers. And this may have changed even more dramatically as we've in the post-COVID world where more people are working remotely, the staffing isn't what it used to be, and people are out there doing jobs, maybe where there was 2 people, now there's 1. So why is this significant? Basically, lone workers are potentially more at risk to being injured, or if they are injured, there's no way for them to really call and ask for assistance because they're by themselves. So lone workers really, in our industry, housekeepers clean a house, and eventually, someone's going to come by in a few hours to inspect the property if we have a same-day turn. We have maintenance workers who go out to take a look at a house or take a look at a property and look at a particular issue, whether it's inside or outside. It could be electrical, it could be plumbing, it could be different things, right? The work they're doing could put them at potential risk. They could have pre-existing health conditions that could put them, at risk, that they could suffer a health, non-work related health type situation. And in these cases, in what we consider the traditional workplace, there would be others who are working around them or with them who would see the situation, identify the health issue coming on, and go ahead and make some intervention, whether it's talking to them, stopping them from doing a potentially unsafe task or identifying an unsafe condition, and then calling medical attention if necessary. So really, this is lone workers. The traditional approaches in lone worker in improving their safety and reliability is trying to create some type of processes. There's technology out there that can be used, but how do we safeguard lone workers? Because a lot of times the lone worker work could be, it's not very efficient, it's resource or labor intensive, it's time consuming for workers and supervisors alike, and then human error is always inescapable. Save time employees may avoid or neglect following safety or company protocols. And so basically, lone workers are potentially more at risk. Any industry, but I think we'll see and tend to agree maybe that we have more lone workers in the vacation rental, short-term rental industry than we may have realized. So now that we know, hey, they're potentially prone to have more incidents or accidents, how do we safeguard them? This is what we want to do. We're here to be proactive in supporting our employees, our contractors, and like I said, we don't really talk about this a lot. So what could we do? Of course, there's technology out there that we could employ. However, it could be as simple as saying, hey, if I get a lone worker maintenance person out there doing a particular task, I could say, hey, this is a pretty important task. I'm going to send 2 people out on that job. Secondly, I could employ some type of check-in policy where every 1 to 2 hours, the lone worker calls back to the office or sends a text or does something that says, hey, I'm okay. And if there's not a response to that, then we should be able to then start calling that individual or sending a supervisor or a manager to the location, the last known location of the employee. Another option would be if in our vehicle driving program, we have equipment that tracks the location of our vehicles. So if driving, let's say I'm doing laundry delivery or pickup, and I don't hear back from a person that's doing that role, then where's my vehicle? Can I track that vehicle? And then once again, I can call that individual and check their status. So it doesn't have to be complicated. It could be understanding the work. What's the complexity and the risk? Should I send 2 people? Secondly is I create every couple of hours a check-in procedure, just like you could set it up through your automation in maybe your property management software that sends out a "Hey, are you okay?" text to the team member that are working that day, that are lone workers. And then third is maybe what's my vehicles that I have where I'm using the driving situation? Can I track the vehicles? And there may be other solutions out there that we could employ that would be able to take a look at how can we track and ensure our lone workers are doing well. And it could be, let's say it's working the evening shift at the laundry facility. I want to then have some way to check in with that person, and maybe I assign 2 people to that task. So it's just a way for us to start thinking differently about, first, we identified that we have lone workers. Secondly, we know now that lone workers are at a higher risk potential because they're not able to receive assistance immediately. And then third, let's include some check-in procedures with them. And then if they don't check in, what's our response? Do we know their last known location? We send a team there. Maybe you have local police that could support. So these are all some different things that we could begin to implement in our businesses for our lone workers. And the bigger the geographic location you have, or the multiple locations that you have, really gets to be more important. Smaller scale, I'm in a town 5 miles by 5 miles. It's still, I think you need to have some type of lone worker set up. However, the response to support that person may be a lot quicker. Anyway, I hope this was helpful and gives you something to think about. If there's any way that I can support you or get you some ideas or start thinking about how we can take a different look at lone workers in the vacation short-term rental industry, you can call me. You can find me through eric@safervrs.com, and we can begin to publicize and make a little bit higher profile information available on what we're doing with our lone workers. I appreciate you listening. I hope this information was helpful for you and your business. Please let me know, and I want you to go out and create a safe day. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Safer VRS Podcast with Eric Thibodeau. If you enjoy this, I would love you to join my Facebook group, The Safer Vacation Rentals, for more of the same. You can also join our email list at www.safervrs.com.